Yes.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. We're going to start with your Scrum session. So what's going to happen is a bunch of different journalists are going to come and ask you questions. You can just look towards the center. That is where the camera is.
Okay. There's too many lights. I'll just try and guess.
Yeah, sorry about that. It
It's
is
fine.
pretty bright.
I'll
Yeah.
just guess.
Okay, great. It's looking good. So let's start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Scrum session. We are joined by benjyfishy from Team Heretics. We're going to start with a pre-submitted question first. First question comes from Paula from Deserto, Spain. So this Masters is in Madrid and Team Heretics is a Spanish team. Do you feel pressured about playing at home, or does it give you motivation to shine in front of the Spanish community?
I think it gives us a lot of motivation. For me, I think it's kind of like written in the stars that we're here. The way I see it is we're here for a reason. I think the fact that we are a Spanish org and this first Masters in Madrid, and we're here, I like to believe that we're gonna win it, because of that. But I think it gives the team a lot of motivation. I'm super excited to be able to hear the home crowds. Do walkouts and stuff. I'm so happy that we get to play here. So yeah, I think it gives us a lot of motivation for sure.
Great, thank you. Next question comes from ESPM News from Ernesto. Which team are you most looking forward to facing?
The team that I was always most looking forward to facing was Sentinels. I mean, for me, it was between either Sentinels or NRG. But obviously they're playing each other, so I couldn't have both. But I'm happy to play against Sentinels as my first game because yeah, I mean, even before like the matches got picked, they were the team I wanted to play against the most. So yeah, main one Sentinels. So I'm super happy that we're playing against them first.
Thank you. We'll now move to virtual questions. First question from Alan.
Hi, Benji.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all
Hello.
good, mate.
Hello. Yeah. So it's very interesting that I saw a tweet about how many Twitter followers of all the players that go into Master Madrid, and like it's really great to see that someone finally he can surpass tens in that list. So because you are a player that's from Fortnite, and what do you generally feel about this kind of switch, and what do you want to say to your fans or your audience beforehand? Yeah.
I mean about the Switch, I mean for me, I'm super happy that I made the Switch. For me, it was quite a big risk because I had such a big audience in Fortnite and I was still doing good competitively in Fortnite. But for me, I'm a very competitive person and Fortnite isn't a very competitive game. So I wanted to do something I enjoyed more and I knew I'd have more motivation for, which is why I swapped. And yeah, obviously it's gone pretty well because I'm here now. So yeah, no, to anybody that's recently started supporting me or has followed me from my transition from Fortnite to Valorant, I just want to say I appreciate a lot, and I hope we can do good at Masters for you. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Pedro Romero.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, perfect, perfect. All right, then Benji, thank you so much for taking the time and just answering these questions in this press conference. I just want to just ask about the fact that this team made it to Masters Madrid despite not having as much expectations compared to the other well-known teams within EMEA. And my question for you is, it's a simple one. Looking at the team's run to this point, how did it even happen?
I think, I mean, yeah, people didn't expect much of us. I think part of that is just due to because we are a lot of new players. I think people still expected, Fnatic to be super dominant. But I think, this is like the new era of Valorant. You're going to be seeing a lot of new tier 2 players coming up to tier 1, I believe, within the next few years. Because there's so many like talented players. And we did our trials for this team and we tried a lot of players. We were probably the first team out of any team in Europe to do our trials. And so we got basically our pick of players and we got everybody we wanted. So I think that's why we've performed so well. Because yeah, we got all our first picks and we know how well all our players play, and I think people didn't have high expectations just because they don't realize how good these players are. So yeah, I think that's why.
Thank you. Next question from Manu Patito.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi Benji. I would like to ask you something quite personal.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask, based on your personal perception, who do you think is the most creative player in your team in terms of microplays? Like, who do you think has the best ideas in game that can set the tone or make the team win a round just by innovating? Thank you.
That's a good question. I think the first person that comes to mind is probably Miniboo Dummy. There's a lot of mid-round stuff that he does and calls. A good one that I do remember was it was in overtime against Navi in the game that we need to win to qualify for Masters, and it was on Sunset. And he called like to triple push elbow, and he called like the whole play, and we just destroyed them, and it was a super important round. And I think he does a lot of that stuff a lot. So I think that makes his value of a player like super high. Obviously you guys can't hear the comms most of the time, but yeah, I think his comms are super good and his calls are really good. But I think all of us in general in the team have our own role and we all make certain plays and certain calls. So yeah, I think it's important that as long as we carry on doing that, I think we're gonna keep doing really well. But yeah, I think Mini Boo's a big part of making like good calls mid round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Ashim Gosu Gamers.
Hi, Benji.
Hello.
So like you said, Sentinels will be the team you'd have loved to face at Masters Madrid. And since you are facing them, they have already won America's kickoff and they must be riding high on confidence. So before the big game, is there any pressure and how do you cope with it?
I think like in terms of pressure, we've kind of gone through that in the MEA. Like I think, you know, people even still now are thinking that we're underdogs and masters, and we've kind of gone through that whole phase of already being, people don't think we're gonna do good during the kickoff. I think, we've got a really close relationship with our team and our teammates. I think that helps a lot with, pressure. And I think, we've had a performance coach before called Rob, and we've got another performance coach now, and he's talked to us a lot about pressure. And I think we're a team that thrives under pressure. And it's kind of just accepting that, if you are going to be nervous, like it isn't a big deal. Like it does happen to a lot of players. They do just get nervous, and it's just how you play through it. And I think we're really good at that. So I don't think we're worried about the pressure. I think we're expecting there will be pressure, and we're just gonna play as we normally do, which is what we've done the whole tournament so far.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pedro, do you have another question?
In light of, well, you mentioned a little bit about your description of your teammates in this current iteration of the team, and it's easy to forget also that you joined Team Heretics at a time up in the lead up to the LCQ last season, and I want to know how does that contrast with how you've been fitting in, or moreover, how has the new teammates in this squad has been fitting in with you and Boo, given that you guys were already a part of the team heading into this year. So, just to clear it all up, how does you joining the team contrast to how this team has been fitting together in the lead up to this year and subsequently in kickoff?
I mean, when I joined back in July, I was always like planned to kind of stay in the team, because they did trials with me and they really liked me. So I'm not gonna, I don't know if I properly understand your question. But yeah, I mean, when I joined back in July, I kind of knew I was gonna stay for next year. I think Neil and Weber have done a good job in kind of keeping the players that they thought had the potential to, you know, so had the motivation and the hunger to win. Obviously me and Boo were the only ones that stayed. I think Boo, Neil, and Weber have a really good kind of synergy and connection together. And obviously it wasn't showed that well last year, but now that we've got this new team, I think it shows a lot more with our strats and just everything with how we're playing. And I think with the new players that we've brought in, I think we made sure we found players that kind of understood how we want to play the game and was open to it. And I think a lot of it was we didn't want players that were already kind of molded by different like coaches or just, you know, I feel like when you get kind of older and you become more, I don't know the word, maybe like independent as a player, like you've already got your set play style. It's quite hard to mold players when they get to that sort of age, and when they have that much experience. So that's kind of why we wanted young players, so that we can kind of play the game how we want to and, you know, shape these players how we want to. So yeah, I think that was kind of our vision for this year.
Thank you. Next question from Cecilia.
Hello, Celia from Esports Magazine. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Checking in.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you. I have a quick subsection of questions. First of all, did you have the chance to scrim against other teams? And if so, is there someone that surprised you for how they play?
Sadly, not yet. We haven't scrimmed any other teams in Madrid, or like any other teams that are playing in Madrid. A lot of that has just been we haven't had much time for like, I mean, everybody's got different like times for media and stuff, so it's quite hard to find times to scrim other teams that are also at Masters. But I think in general we're not prioritizing scrimming other teams at Masters. So yeah, we haven't scrimmed anybody yet that are playing at Masters.
Asking if I can ask a following up question on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I'm sure that you had some VOD review maybe of the other teams. Is there something that someone like a specific player has done in game that has been with you ever since, like something that surprised you?
Not in particular, no. I think, I mean, for me at least, I like watching other Sentinels play and to see their different setups and stuff because I like to steal those. But one person in particular, not really, but no, I like to watch other, you know, Cyphers or, you know, Killjoys or anybody play just to, you know, steal their stuff. But I haven't, not anyone in particular, no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions in the room? Okay, you could come here.
Hi,
Hello.
nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
My question is, there's a big difference between playing tier 2 and then swapping to VCT, like 1 year
Yeah.
difference?
Mhm.
And where is the more difficult part to adapt?
What's like the most difficult thing to that change? Okay. I mean, I think probably it's, I mean, for me, like, I don't think like, at least from last year, there isn't like a huge difference between very good tier 2 teams than like tier 1 teams, you know, because when you're a tier 2 team, you scrim against tier 1 teams every day, so you kind of understand how good these teams are. And a lot of them aren't like, at least last year when I was playing an Enterprise in tier 2, we would scrim tier 1 teams and we would beat them like regularly. So I kind of realized that it wasn't that big of a difference. And it was kind of the same like from tier 3 when I was playing in tier 3, scrimming tier 2 teams, I realized like I was good enough. I think the biggest difference is just the amount of eyes you have on you. I think, you know, especially with EMEA tier 2 and the way it works, you don't really have much viewership compared to like NA, for example. So I think the main thing is just viewership. Like you've got a lot more eyes on you. You know, if you do something bad, people are gonna tell you. Or you know, if you do really good, then people are also gonna tell you. So I think that's probably the main difference. And you know, the way I see it is a good thing. You know, I like knowing that more people are seeing me playing good. And yeah, I think that's the main difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. You you
Yeah.
played with Rians Online for kickoff.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit about how the team dynamic worked there with a player that wasn't with you guys on stage? I saw at the end when you were celebrating, a bunch of the players, including yourself, going back onto the headsets in order to celebrate with Rians who were stuck at home. Can you explain a bit about how that worked, kind of more with the emotional and mental side of what was happening at kickoff?
Yeah, it's a good question. It was really difficult because, you know, I think quite a few people like they see Ryan's playing online and they think it's like an advantage, but you know, you've got to think about the fact that we were boot camping for 2-3 months and he wasn't there. He wasn't able to participate in team activities. He wasn't able to participate, you know, just in normal things like eating together, just seeing each other every day. I think that does like affect, you know, the team a lot, and it'll probably affect Ryan's more than anyone. But yeah, I mean, after the games, we try to include him as much as possible. You know, we saved activities for when he comes here, that we know he's going to enjoy. And, you know, for example, yeah, like after the games, you know, when we win, like we're always talking to him because we know, like, we're not gonna be able to, we don't want to celebrate about him because he is part of the team. He just isn't here. So I think, yeah, it's been very hard. But I think we've kind of dealt with it the best way possible. So yeah, hopefully he comes here soon.
You said that you saved some activities that you knew that he would like. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, he said that he really wants to go go-karting, so we're gonna go go-karting when he comes. And yeah, I mean, we know likes football as well. Sadly, we already played football. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun activities for when he comes for sure.
And a follow-up question too. When we were doing a lot of the interview stuff with Carmine Corps after they ended up beating you guys in the finals, they said that one of the big adaptations was we're playing on ping. We just got to swing these guys. So the game does change when you go into a LAN setting. It is slightly easier to AWP, hold angles, that kind of stuff. Are you anticipating any kind of difference to your play style, how effective the team is? You know, getting used to that at the beginning of the tournament. Are any of those things relevant in your mind?
For me, not really. I think you know, it's we don't really think about it. Like we don't think about like, well, because we're playing online servers at kickoff, we don't really keep that in mind. Like I think for us it's just going to be nicer to play on low ping, so our shots feel cleaner, I guess. But no, I don't think it's really, I mean, probably maybe for Ryan's, because you know he's been playing on like 40 ping the whole tournament, so now be able to play on LAN servers, it'll be super nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This will be the final question.
Hello, Benji. Gustavo
Hello.
from Brazil.
So,
QCK told me that you are the guy he's most looking forward to play against because you came from the same game. So I wanna know if you knew him from Fortnite and if you're looking forward to play against him too.
I did actually know he was from Fortnite, no, but that makes me really happy because you know I've seen him play and I think he's really good. And Loud is a team that I do really want to play against. So no, it makes me really happy. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to play against him and Loud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our scrum with benjyfishy. We'll be back momentarily with the next one.
Perfect. Thank you guys.